There is a popular saying in leadership that if you think you're leading and there's nobody following you, you are only going on a walk. On this platform, you are going to learn principles of leadership. You are going to encounter different leaders. You are going to learn about how you can grow as a leader, how you can make an impact. My name is Ayim, and I'm the host for the leadership platform. I am a leadership coach, a lawyer by profession, a John C. Maxwell certified coach. I have been in corporate life in senior positions for several years, and now I run the Center for Transformational Leadership, where we train and coach leaders to become better leaders. And I invite you to go on a journey with us as we discuss the subject of leadership in the coming weeks.
This and every Saturday, you have opportunity to ask questions, share your views on important leadership matters.
Hello everyone, my name is Elsie and I'm excited that I just completed a 15-week journey with the CTL Africa team on the 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth by John C. Maxwell.
From the law of pain, I also learned that every problem introduces a person to himself. Honestly, till you face a problem, you wouldn't know the things that you actually have within you.
The journey for me personally was a wake-up call. Before I joined this journey, I wasn't actually learning at all. I wasn't adding any logic to what I knew.
So the law of trade-off is saying that you have to give up to grow up. So things that I think are not going to have maximum impact on my life, I have to trade them off.
I want to grow. I am not stopping now. I am continuing. And as far as I'm concerned, like it says, you cannot give what you don't have. I definitely will have to give what I have learned off to others and then get more so that I can continue giving. I am not going to be a reservoir. I am going to be a river, and therefore I'm going to continue learning to be able to give of my best.
Ordinary people can achieve extraordinary results on a consistent basis if they have a system, if they have a plan.
Hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are joining us. This is once again the leadership platform coming into your virtual space. My name is Sarah Jessie Appiah, and I will be your host today. And so honored to be in your company. And if you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please put in the comment space your name, where you're joining us from, so we will be able to welcome you, especially those of you joining us for the first time. Great to have you on board, and we don't take it for granted that you have chosen, and all our viewers, to be part of us this evening. Our time together is going to be for 90 minutes, where we will have a speaker who will espouse a leadership principle and lesson. And this person will be Sam Ayim, who is the normal host for this platform. But today he is our guest speaker. So he will be sharing with us for 30 to 40 minutes max, and then we'll have time to interact. So as he shares, don't forget to put in your comments as well as your questions. If it's a question to help us really navigate quickly, it would be good to put question and then the word question, and then you put in what the question is. So we can be able to sort it out easily for all of us. So let's see who is joining us today. I can see Miss Abe joining us from East Legon. Great to have you. Ebenezer Ni Ama is joining us from the Center from Transformational Leadership. Great. Nana Latele Late is also joining us from Ajirigano, East Legon. So we have a good number of East Legoners joining us. Now we have Conrad Kakraba, and he says, awesome to hear from my boss. Indeed, Conrad. And Ebenezer Ni Ama from the university, Heritage Christian University, joining us from Accra, Ghana, in Sawam Road. Okay, Emmanuel Woolendal also is joining us from Upper West Region. Thank you that you are always there with us, Emmanuel. And then Derek Oben also joining us from Mataheko, where I was born. Okay, William Dafoe is also joining us from Tema. Great, and I am joining you this time from Geneva, Switzerland. Keep signing in and we'll announce you to the web. Great, so today's topic, let me quickly get my phone, is the Leader-Vison. So, how successful leaders see and craft the future, how successful leaders see and craft the future. And Theodore Hensberg says, the very essence of leadership is that you have to have a vision. It's got to be a vision you articulate clearly and forcefully on every occasion, which means it has to be consistent. So today, this is what we're going to talk about. And guess who is going to be our speaker? I've already said it, Sam Ayim. And Sam is a marvelous teacher. He is, for those who have not been on the platform before, he is a lawyer by profession, turned a motivational speaker, a mentor, and a teacher, an absolutely wonderful teacher. He's also a John Maxwell certified coach, and he runs the Center for Transformational Leadership in Accra, Ghana. As he always says, Sam, if you are good, you don't have a long intro. You don't need a long introduction. If you're not good, a long introduction will not help you. So we know you have something good for us. So Sam, I invite you to the leadership platform, your platform, and here you are with your audience. So please take us away for this very important topic of vision. Over to you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Can you see me? And can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen as well.
All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming this evening. And as Sarah said, we don't take your participation for granted. Our purpose, our objective is to add value to you. We value you. We want to join hands with you to improve your growth, to add value to you, so you become so valuable that you can also add value to others. So we thank you for joining, especially those of you who regularly join the leadership platform. We want to welcome you once again. Hello. All right. So thank you so much for making it a date. And as Sarah said, this evening, I'm going to take up the teaching or the discussion. Now, before I go on, let me make two quick announcements. Those of you who've been with the center for some time know that every year we host the John Maxwell annual leadership conference, Live to Lead. Sarah and I have been hosting this for the past 5 years. Now, this year it's going to be even more exciting because we are joined together with Dr. Yao Pebi to host this. We want to make this year's Live to Lead bigger, better. We want to make sure that the first week of October every year in this country and across Africa becomes a time that all of us will stop and think about leadership. So we are aiming to create the first week of October every year as the Leadership Week in Africa, in Ghana. So we want you to mark your calendars already. Mark the date of October 7 as Live to Lead, and we want to encourage you to be able to prepare to join. And we want to give you upfront knowledge, those of you on this platform, as the price this year is still going to be $79, but because of the exchange rate, it's going around $700. But we are giving you an early bird offer of a whooping 100 Ghana cedis off that price for all of you who would register from now to end of August. The early bird offer runs from now to end of August, and at the end of August, the full price of 700 Ghana cedis will kick in. So from now to August to October 7, you have enough time to squeeze and do some savings and make October 7th an important day of your life. Those of you who have attended can attest to it. The second thing is that we are preparing to offer you DISC. In fact, the group that is on the growth journey right now, most of them have asked for the DISC test to be done for them. And so we want to encourage you, those of you who want to know your personality, know your team members, know your wife, your family, your friends, how to relate better with them, how to lead your team better from knowing who they are and who you are. Know yourself better, know them better, relate better with them. We want to encourage you. It is for only 500 Ghana cedis. You would be able to have a test and it will give you a 31-page report of yourself. And if you register your team members, each one of them will have a 31-page report full of describing who you are, what motivates you, how you communicate, how you relate with other styles, how you lead people, and so many dimensions of personal growth and leadership. It's the DISC personality assessment, and it is 500 Ghana cedis. So please get in touch with us and register. Once you register, we'll send you the link, and then we'll fix a date where we'll do a teaching on the DISC, and then we'll have time one-on-one with you also to go through your profile with you. So that's out of the way. Let's see what we are doing today. We are talking about Leader-Vison, how leaders see and craft vision so that they realize that vision. So that is what we are talking about today. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this is apolitical or not, but I want us to discuss this subject in the context of Ghana today. So for those of you who are not in Ghana, just let me give you just a quick overview of what is going on in Ghana today. And as leaders, we need to understand the leadership environment in which we are. Whether you are in your organization, whether it is in your house, whether it's in the country, when you understand the principles of leadership, you will be able to explain what is going on around you in your organization, whether you're leading well, whether your leaders are leading well or not. Because the laws of leadership apply to every situation. If you live by the laws of leadership, you will be successful as a leader. if you say you don't believe in the laws of leadership and that the laws of leadership just apply to some other continent, some other cultures, and not your culture, you will find that you will break those laws to your own peril as a leader. So today in Ghana, briefly, all of you know what's going on. We have IMF in town. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, is in town trying to discuss with our leaders to find a rescue package because our economy is in crisis. That is the truth. We are in a terrible situation. But how did we get here? In 2016, we had elections, we had so many promises, great vision, great ideas of our president and all his people promising us that Ghana is going to be far better. In fact, we are going to manage our own affairs, that we had a vision of Ghana beyond aid. We are not going to go to anywhere to go and beg for money because we have the money here and we want to be able to mine the money and build our country by ourselves. So we have this vision of Ghana beyond aid. We're going to raise money. We are not going to depend on taxes as the previous leaders have done. We are going to produce and get enough money so that people will not be taxed. In fact, in the beginning of our government, we scrapped so many taxes because we said we have to move from taxes to production. So great vision, we all buy, jump, and we all were into it. In fact, we are not going to the IMF. We're going to raise money. But what happened? We realized a few months ago that things were not going well. People were calling for us to go to IMF. We say we are not going. We are a proud nation. We are not going to the IMF. We will do it ourselves. We are not cowards. We did all that. But today the IMF is in town. So I want us to look at this discussion we are going to have in that context. And I want you to check as we go along what laws, what principles we applied, what principles we didn't apply. And as you look at it in your own life as a leader and see how you are leading, which ones you are applying as far as vision is concerned. And here is what we're going to do quickly. If you see my screen, we're going to have just a few points. We're looking at the importance of vision in leadership. We will look at the three main dimensions or foundations of leadership, what I'll call the 3 R's. The first one is the reality, the foundation of leadership. The second one is response, the energy of vision. And the third one is the resources, which is the sources or the execution of the vision. We're going to look at these principles of and see how successful leaders craft vision, implement it, and get the results they get. All right? Okay. So to start with, and for those of you who've been on this platform, since we started, I think this will be my 3rd lesson on vision. So if you go back to some of the presentations we've done on vision, there's a bit more discussion. We're not going to go over that. This vision is a big part of leadership. And so there are so many dimensions, and we continue to bring some of them out to you as and when. So today we're going to look at another dimension. So to start with, let's look at a definition, and there can be several definitions of leadership or dream. And here, this is by John C. Maxwell. It's a vision or a dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes our mind, our will, and our emotions. Get that? It's an inspiring picture. So a dream, a vision is a picture of the future that energizes our mind, our will, and our emotions, empowering you to do everything you can to achieve it. So a dream is not just a fantasy. It's something that gives you energy. It's something that energizes your mind, your will, and your emotion. That is your total being is energized and empowered such that you are doing everything to achieve it. It's not like you create a dream and you just leave other people, but you are involved. That is what a vision is. And with this definition, you will see how critical this is to leadership, because leaders are makers of vision. They are dealers of vision, as we will see. So this is a definition that I want you to keep at the back of your mind. And as we break it down, this involves ability to see the future. Okay? We are in a mess, we are in a difficult situation, or you are in a different situation, but your ability to see a different picture for tomorrow is what vision is about. It's a glimpse of your purpose. A vision shows you what is your purpose, what is possible, what you can achieve. It is also a preferred future. So a vision is a preferred future. You are in the current situation. That is not your ideal situation. What do you prefer to be in the future? That is your vision. It is a description of your destiny. It is the art of seeing the invisible. So vision is your ability to see the future, to see what is not visible. Okay? So visioning is the leader's ability to look out across and beyond the organization or the country to the future and usher in people they lead. So it's not just for you, the leader, but vision is also important for the people you lead. And that there is probably one of the big differences between leadership and management, because management is aimed at maintaining the status quo, keeping things as they are, arranging and organizing and planning and keeping things as they are. But leadership is about envisioning and creating a new future, which involves, therefore, change. It also involves getting people involved and taking them from one point to another. All right. So why is vision important? Vision is important because it gives significance to otherwise meaningless details of life. When you look at your life and the issues, and we go back to what is going on in Ghana now with all the issues going on, the discussion, people going on strike, doctors, nurses threatening, teachers already on strike, all those details. If you don't have a leadership that has a vision, you can get paralyzed. But with a vision, you can make sense out of that confused situation. Vision brings your world into focus. Everything happening around you can be put in focus when you have a vision. You don't get derailed. Vision brings order to chaos. A clear vision enables you to see everything differently. That is understanding. So vision is so important for leadership. When we are in a crisis, when COVID struck, when there's Ukraine-Russia war, and when the supply chain is broken, and when the economies of the world are melting down, we need leaders with vision to be able to carry the people along. All right? Now, those of you who read the Bible would have read this passage, Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. It says, where there is no vision, I think I missed something there, where there's no vision, the people perish. So I've missed one note there. Where there is no vision, the people perish. So without a vision, there cannot be a realization of any objectives. Now, Simon Sinek, a writer and a leadership communication expert, has written a lot of good books, says great leaders must have two things: a vision of the world that does not yet exist, and the ability to communicate that vision clearly. Leaders are dealers in vision. Leaders, if you're a leader and you don't have a vision, you are not a leader. Okay? So you have to have a vision of tomorrow. And he says two things you have to have: a vision of a world that does not exist, and your ability to communicate that clearly. Successful leaders are able to look across and beyond the organization. They look beyond the country. They have a talent of seeing and creating the future. They use highly visual language that paints pictures of the future for those that they lead. As a result, they seem to attain bigger goals because they create a collective mindset. And that propels people to help them to make the vision a reality. This is so important because the leader is not the vision is not just for the leader. And in fact, the vision exists before the leader, and the vision can continue beyond the leader. So actually, the vision is more important than the leader, even though the leader will craft the vision. But the vision of, for example, if you take Jesus Christ, the vision of saving the sick, the sinners, that vision, he just called 12 people. He sold the vision to them. That man is dead for 2,000 and so years ago, but that vision still continues. So a vision can outlive its leader when it is properly crafted, properly communicated, and you have been able to transmit that vision to a group of people who are helping you to realize that vision. It is so important. So leaders must constantly be communicating. If you follow Jesus Christ, as some of us do, you'll find that from time to time, he will call the 12. Most of the time, he's with the 12. He's with them, inculcating, teaching them, in giving them the keys to his vision. And only a few times he's in the public. Many of the times he's with the team. He's so trained up the team and invested in them so that they can carry on the vision. So the vision can go on even without the leader. So leaders who say that, well, without me, this organization will collapse, it means that you are not a true leader. You don't understand what vision is. If you create the right vision, train the people, and invest in them, they will carry the vision even when you are gone. All right. So how do successful leaders see the vision, implement them, and get so much achieved? 3 R's, 3 important dimensions that I want to share with you as we go right away into it. Number 1, reality. Reality is the foundation of the vision. We'll come to that. Number 2, response or buy-in. Response to your vision is what gives energy to the vision, and we'll explain that shortly. And number 3, resources. Resources is what you need to execute the vision so that you can get success. There's several other dimensions. Another model talks about the 3 R's: recognition, which is in line with recognizing the realities where you are; reorganization, which is about the people, how to place the people, get the people to help you; and reconstruction, rearranging the resources in order to be able to achieve and execute the vision. So these 3 R's, reality, response, and resources, are the 3 elements that help successful leaders craft, and achieve their vision. So let's see what it takes. Foundation of leadership or vision is reality. All right. Vision bridges the gap between where we are and our fullest potential. So what that means is that you are here, you are where you are in a crisis, but the leader does not just see the crisis, he sees the potential, what he can be that others don't see. Max Dupree has said, a leader's first responsibility is to define reality. So we're saying that a leader has to have a vision of the future. But then we are saying the foundation of that vision is reality. It sounds like a kind of contradiction, but it is not. It is not a contradiction, because if you are a leader who wants to craft a vision and that vision is not built on reality, what you're going to have is you are going to have the vision failing. So go back to the earlier introduction of the Ghana situation where we are. where we have a vision, Ghana without aid. We're not going to IMF. We're going to raise billions of cedis from e-levy. And today we have the IMF. Today we have so many taxes. Today we are where we are, and the IMF is in town. What went wrong when we were defining those visions? A big part of it is that we did not take certain realities into consideration. If you just take, for example, e-levy, it's very, very simple. Despite all the noise and the people saying this is not the correct tax and so on, people say, no, people will just, they will pay. They will continue to do Momo and we'll get our money. The reality is that people will change and will find different means to send their money. So reality is important to be able to define your vision. Is very, very important. Now, so develop a reality statement first before developing your vision statement. It's absolutely important. Absolutely important. If you don't define your realities before building your vision, you are most likely to fail. Again, a lack of realism today will cause credibility tomorrow. It's very, very basic principle of leadership. If you're not realistic about today's facts before crafting your vision, then you have credibility issue. What are we seeing around? There's a scramble of communication and trying to explain why a month ago we said we're not going to the IMF and today we are going to the IMF. Do we believe what our leaders are telling us? Majority of people really don't. Because if what you told us today, that we are solid, is not true, how do we know what you're telling us today is correct? So what happens when you're a leader and you don't deal with reality and you build castles in the air and your vision is not grounded on reality? What happens is that your credibility will suffer. When you are building a vision, therefore, less hype, more honesty. So as leaders, these things should guide us because this is what true leaders do. They look at the reality, they put a lot into honest analysis, no myths, no, fabrications and imaginations and so on and so forth. No, look at the real facts, and then you can project from there. All right. So when you are looking at reality, three things you have to check. Three things you have to bear in your mind. And I have come to realize the truism of this as I set out to develop leadership training and concept through the Center for Transformational Leadership. The first one is situation. Things are going to be worse than you think. Now, when I started the Center for Transformational Leadership, I thought, we're going to be able to train how many people will buy into this, where some people may not invest in leadership. But I quickly realized that things are going to get worse, and they're getting worse every day. It's going to be, it's challenging every day. COVID comes, the Ukraine comes, and so forth. People are broke. So the situation in which I came to start with the expectations that I have, that situation is worse. So when you are crafting a vision, when you look at the facts on the ground, just factor in. John Maxwell will say even double the factors and assume that the situation is going to get worse 2 times. So you need to be able to understand that the situation, the facts that you're using can get worse, and they usually do. Process. How long is this vision going to take to come to realization? Please understand that it is going to take longer than you think. So we thought that in 3 years we would have broken even, and we are training hundreds and hundreds of leaders, and everybody is buying into leadership concept. But we're 5 years down the line, and it's not there. Okay, it's the same thing with the situation in Ghana when things are not going. We assume that we're going to change the economy, transform everything within the 2 years, that's what the politicians told us. In the first 2 years, we're going to change this country and everything is going to be fine. We are 6 years down the line and we are nowhere near. We are in fact going backwards. So understand that the process is going to be longer than you think. Then the price, the cost of implementing that vision is going to be higher than you think. In fact, I've spent all my investment and now I'm looking for money to continue with the vision, only to be knocked down, to be slapped by GRA with hundreds or thousands of cedis of tax liability on the losses that I've made. It doesn't make sense to me, but hey, that's a price again. So when successful leaders are crafting vision, they are realistic about these things. They're not just fantasizing, but they take these things very, very seriously. If you could be realistic on the front end, you can take adversity throughout the vision. Yesterday, I was talking to my daughter. I was telling her about the tax liability that have been levied and I don't have the money. And she was like, but Daddy, you are talking about this. You're so calm about this. You look, is it because Daddy, you just want to make your kids feel cool because, or what? Or is that how? And I said, my baby, I'm calm. I'm calm about this because I know what I've set myself out to do. I know it's going to cost me money. It's going to cost me my time, my energy, my resources, but I am ready to brace it. And if you don't have that understanding, then when the price goes high, you're not prepared to sacrifice again, and then you're down. Successful leaders don't do that with their visions. All right. The second R is the response, the buy-in. When you're a leader, you want to communicate the vision so that people will buy in, because you cannot. It is not the job of the leader to execute. It is the job of the leader to get people to help him to execute. So that requires clear communication of the vision. But when you have communicated the vision, you expect a response. You expect a buy-in into the vision. And the response you get from the people when you cast the vision controls how much energy the vision is going to have. So if you're communicating your vision and everybody is putting water on it and nobody is following you, if you're doing training and nobody is coming, if you have live to lead and nobody comes, then you don't have energy to continue. But when we started the first live to lead, we had over 600 people in the hall. I mean, it was big. So it gives us a lot of energy. When COVID struck and we moved from in-person live to lead to virtual live to lead, we got even more people. That gives us energy to continue. So even though we don't have money, we made losses, but we have the energy to continue. So the response to your vision is what gives you energy. Now, that response is determined by two things, the message and the messenger. Now, a vision, Larry Crabb says, a vision we give to others of who and what they can become has power when it echoes what the Spirit has already spoken in their souls. When you are communicating your vision, that message must resonate with people. And when the message resonates with the people, they feel it, they can easily own it. They say, oh, yes. Every time I talk about leadership to people, to leaders, and I share a vision that we need to deepen the leadership knowledge, leadership understanding, improve our quality of leadership, everybody says, Sam, yes, this is it. We need this. We need leadership. We need it. Everybody believes we need it. That gives you energy because that message resonates, connects. And I speak to corporate people and they can see that, yeah, people, they can see the leadership that they are having, leaders shouting and screaming at them and all that. And so when we talk about the true quality of leadership, people connect. That message should connect with what is in the spirit of the people. But the second element is the messenger, you who is selling the vision. You have to be credible. And John C. Maxwell says, in the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, the law of buying, which is one of the laws of leadership. People buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. So when people say, we are not going to pay e-levy because we don't believe that you're going to use the monies well, that is a vote of credibility in the leader. Because if people don't believe in the leader, they will not buy into the vision. So a lot of the time, leaders are busy selling the vision, and that's what I'm seeing on the radio, on TV. And leaders are busy selling the vision, and the people are saying, yeah, we hear you. You just want this money, so you pay yourself well. We see all the V8, we see all this, we see all that. Why do you want us to pay more money when we have given you more money and we don't see anything? That is a credibility issue. So you, the messenger who is selling this vision, if the people don't believe in you, that vision will not be bought. All right? So when the messenger connects with the message, that connects with the recipient, the response is overwhelmingly positive. So to be successful, you have to enlist others in a common vision by appealing to their values, their interests, their hopes, and their dreams. It's not about you, just your interest. It is about the interests of the people. And let us understand, the true purpose of leadership is to add value to people. So you have to connect with the people at that level. All right? Okay. So a quick checklist, if you want to, your vision to be properly sold and bought, quickly. Identify your constituents. Know who you are talking to. A lot of the time, I'm seeing leaders not talking to the people. They're talking to themselves and they're talking to their foot soldiers, when the true people for whom the vision is being sold are not being addressed. Find common ground. Change always occurs on common ground. A lot of the time when organizations want to bring change, leaders want to bring change, they're looking for people who are decent and they're trying to kill those who disagree with them, and they're looking at all that. But if you want change, that change can be built on common ground. You need to build bridges, which means you have to develop, the next point, your interpersonal competencies. Get relationally good with people. As true leaders are very good at relating with people, connecting with people, so they can sell the vision. Breathe life into your vision. Speak positively. Speak from the heart. I remember when I used to be in EcoBank, we had a CEO, and it is a new CEO. And when people came from the subsidiary and he met with them and he told them what EcoBank was, some of the people were like, Sam, when we come to the group office and you people talk about EcoBank, we are wondering what type of EcoBank you're talking about, because it looks like you people have a different EcoBank. And it's true, because at that time, the organization was in difficulties. But this CEO has a view of painting a picture of EcoBank that when people are going, they are so happy and confident that they have a new EcoBank. That is what leaders do. Make the intangible tangible. You have to have a concrete image. Let people see what is going to happen. What are the numbers going to look like? What is the benefit going to look like? Listen first and often. A lot of the time, a big challenge for leaders is that we are not listening. We are only talking. So we need to understand that. Leaders take the vision from me to we. For as long as the vision just remains with you, you're not going to get a buy-in. You have to sell it so that people can own it. So it is we, it is our vision. All right. Okay. The third R, and we're going to close quickly. Resources. Resources give success to the vision. Success of the vision is based on the resources available to implement. Vision without resources can never be accomplished. So yes, you need resources, and there are 3 key resources that you need to know, and all successful leaders who see and want to craft vision get these 3 things in their planning. Number 1 is plan, strategy. A vision without a strategy is a nightmare. You are not going to make it. If you have the best vision of the world, Ghana without aid, no IMF, no this, that. And we didn't have a plan for Ghana without aid. We don't have a plan to raise money. If we didn't have that one, then that vision is not going to be realized. Okay, but we should know that plans can change, strategy can change. And in fact, your plans can fail. So it doesn't mean that the vision is not good. Ghana without aid is a great vision. Okay, but if we don't have a plan to implement it, then the plan will fail. It doesn't mean the vision has failed. Okay, a vision will and should be as it is. Usually you will just refine the vision slightly, but when the plan is not working, you revise it. So maybe that's a good point. The plan was that we are not going to the IMF, we are going to do homegrown, we are going to do it on our own, but that is not working. So we have to change, and we have to go to the IMF and get them in so that they can help us. We can get credibility because we lost our credibility, so that investors can come, we can improve our balance of payment, and things can go. That is what is going on. Okay, so we need a plan. We need people. If you have a big dream and you have a bad team, John C. Maxwell calls it a nightmare. Your vision cannot be realized if you don't have the right people. Teamwork is what makes the dream work. So if you have a vision, a 10, which is a big vision, and your team is only a 3 or a 4, there is no way you are going to realize that 10 vision. You need the right people to be able to come on board to develop the vision. Then the third thing is money. Now, the good book says, a feast is made for laughter, wine makes the heart merry, and money is the answer for everything. Now, sometimes people, when you don't read this in the right context, you think that money is answer to everything. If you read it in the context, it is in the context of party. When you're doing a party and you're going to have the food and you're going to have the wine, yes, it's good. But what you need to buy the food and the wine is money. That's where money comes in. But that principle that money is important is absolute. In this world, you need money. Whatever vision you have, you need the money to be able to do it. But there's good news. The good news is that people and money always follow the vision. So if you don't have money, if you don't have the people, when I started the Center for Transformational Leadership, I was alone. Just quit my job, took my bag from Lome and came to Ghana with my family, and I just started. But when I began selling the vision to other people, people followed. So people and money always follow the vision. If the vision is valid, the people and money will come. And so far, we've seen corporate support. We've seen other people come in to support. We've seen sponsors come in. We've seen partners. Sarah joined me. Dr. Pebby is joining hands for us to work together on Live to Lead. And several other John Maxwell team members are working. We've been running the leadership platform for 2 years, and we always have speakers on speakers coming because the vision is credible and people coming to support the vision. So if you have a big vision, you don't have people, you don't have money. A lot of the time people think that money is a problem. Money is not a problem. When you have a great vision, the money will come. Investors will come and invest. All right. Okay. So, Sarah, I'm coming to the end. And here is a passage that Sarah read. The very essence of leadership is that you have to have a vision. It has got to be a vision you articulate clearly and forcefully on every occasion. Now, we have said that vision is so important to leadership. Leaders are dealers in vision. You cannot be a leader without vision. Vision is important because it gives order to otherwise very chaotic environment. But to craft a credible vision, you need the 3 R's. that we have talked about. Okay? You need to check your reality. Very, very important that your vision is built on solid ground. Okay? You need to have the right resources to be able to execute the mission. And the final quote I have for you is from Barack Obama. No matter what the situation is, vision is better than despair. We choose hope over fear. We see the future not as something out of control, but as something we can shape for the better through concerted and collective effort. So that is what Obama says about the future. And I believe it is true that we as leaders should craft the vision. We should look at the realities on the ground, and we should be able to mobilize all the resources so that we can have the response that we need. Reality, the response, and the resources are key factors to make a vision successful. And Sarah, that is my presentation. God bless all of you.
Navigating through life without a coach or a guide can be very deceiving, making you come to think that you have achieved the highest or the best you can ever, or you have made the best of decisions. But until you become very intentional and take a good stock of your life, you would not realize that it's a mistake.
Pain helps you to come out of your comfort zone.
The law of intentionality and the fact that learning is a lifelong journey if you want to be significant. Emphasis on significance.
Previously, I used to be very unintentional about the things I do when it comes to my family, my work, my Christian life, and basically everything that I do.
In the pursuit of that growth, there are gaps. There are gaps that we need to conquer. These gaps include the knowledge, perfection, mistake, inspirational, timing, and assumption gap.
And I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
I encourage you all out there who need to live their life to be part of CTL Africa's growth journey.
Please take advantage of this program and your life will never be the same.
Thank you very much, CTL Africa, and continue to impact the world. God bless.
Thank you, Sam, for such an amazing 40 minutes of sharing. And it is very simple, pertinent, and really reflects and relevant to what we are experiencing at the individual level, organizational, and at the national level. So let me see what comments are coming in. And as you take a little break, I'll read who is joining us first and then look at the comments. So Albert is joining us from DC. Welcome, Albert. Dennis Ahe from Sacramento Estates. And the general is coming from Kaunu Suhum Asaman Road. Okay, Isi Buachi is also here with us from East Legon. And Albert Donko is also here to drink deep, he says. So I guess you got a very deep drink from the amazing lesson that Sam has given to us. Very simple and very, very practical. So let's see whether I can get some comments. First, it says, awesome. Albert says it's awesome. It's great, great. Wizzy Kemavo is saying it's been long since he's been here. He came to class, so we're great to have you back, Wizzy. And Albert says, welcome to Wheezy. So let's see other comments that are here. I'm just going down. Thank you very much from Benjamin Quarte for such a wonderful presentation. Sam, that is a very commendable presentation from Benjamin. And Adwanaba Amma Entry says, thank you for sharing this with us. Okay. And great presentation, Chief Sam, from Jerry Boachi Dankwa. I'm not seeing any questions yet, so I'll keep on reading the comments. Adrianaba Amma Entry says, I always learn something new to help in my growth journey from your presentation. Thank you for that. Na Latele Latte says, awesome, God richly bless you. So many commendations, Sam. And Jerry Boachi Dankwa. How do you pursue? Okay, that's the first question. So Sam, please note this. How do you pursue a vision when you have a lot of opposition? How do you pursue a vision when you have a lot of opposition? Sam, that is the first question for you. So if you will join us to take this question whilst others post their comments. And also after that, maybe I will come in with a few questions that I have. So the first question is, how do you pursue a vision when you have a lot of opposition?
Well, Jerry, I mean, generally, when you are pursuing a vision, it will involve change. And people generally are uncomfortable with change. And so you need to be able to communicate. That's what we're talking about, the change. They need to feel that the change is going to be beneficial to them. You are taking them from a very comfortable situation to a situation that they don't know. So you need to do a good job as a leader of painting that future such a way that they are happy and willing to go there. When there's a lot of opposition, it means that one, the communication has not gone well, or the vision itself, people are not comfortable with it, or people do not feel that the future you are painting is going to be better than what they are going through now. It is possible that they themselves don't see that future. Okay, when Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was fighting for independence, there are some people who did not think that we should take independence from the white. And I've heard some people recently say that, well, it was even a mistake. We should have stayed under colonialism because we would have been better off. People still think that way. So you would always have some opposition. What you have to find out is, where is the opposition coming from? Why are they opposed? Is it because they don't understand the vision? If that is it, try to explain the vision better. Is it because their interest is not taken care of? That is an absolute good reason why people would oppose. When they think that the future that is coming, their interest is not going to be taken care of. Okay, now you will see all the opposition against IMF in town. What are you hearing? The teachers, the TUC, the civil society, everybody is saying that when IMF comes to town, they are going to stop employment, they're going to curtail our salaries, and meanwhile, we already pressed, inflation has eaten all, so we are not going to accept this thing. The reason people are not accepting is personal. So you need to address the personal side so that people can become comfortable. So those are some of the pointers you have to look out for when there is opposition. Because if there's a lot of opposition, it means that you have to go back to the drawing board, either to the vision or to the communication of the vision, or to aligning that vision to the interests of the people who are opposing.
Yeah, Thank you, Sam. And Sam, I think in your presentation, you did say something that was really relevant, saying as a leader, you have to listen and
Yep.
listen often. So
Yes.
listening often and listening more to
Mm-hmm.
address these oppositions that are coming in
Yeah.
will really go a long way to quell that
Yes.
position. So let's
Yes.
see. I'm just looking if there are, yeah. So let's see. After that, I think I have Albert Donko who says, how do you clearly connect reality to vision? How do you clearly connect reality to vision? Okay. And then let me look down if there are any other questions so you can take the two together. Yes, I have something from Jerry who says, our leaders do not walk their talk and yet expect to be trusted. Why is that the case? So Sam, take these two questions.
All right. So, how do you connect reality to vision? Now, as you said, a vision is an inspiring picture of the future. So you are taking us from here and you are taking us there. That is what the vision is saying. So what I want to know is that here that that I am very comfortable, or even if I'm not comfortable, the there that you are taking me to, am I going to be better off? Is it going to, the change that I'm going to do, the sacrifice that I'm going to be required of, is it going to pay off? Am I going to be better off? That is what, that's where the connection is. And when I decided to leave my job and start this journey, and I had a discussion with my family, and after several questions from my children, they like to ask plenty questions. One of them asked, Daddy, okay, this one I'm going to be very selfish. If you quit your job and you say you're going to do this thing, me, I don't care whatever you're going to do. Will our education be secured? Now that is connection between reality and the future. Because that young girl was asking me, now here we are. You want to take us away to that place. That place, will our education be taken care of? So when your vision is not related to the current situation, that's what happens. So you have to know where they are, where the people are, where the country is, where the organization is, who are the people involved. You also need to know the people, because you're going to use people. We talk about the response, the team. If you don't analyze the team that you have and you assume that you're going to start something and that those people can do it, and they don't have the competences, they don't have the skills to be able to implement the vision, then you are going to have issues. So once you take the reality into consideration, you do an audit of the skills and you see that these are the skills lacking. Then in the crafting of the vision, you're going to put in there, in the plan, we talk about the plan, you're going to put into the plan training of the people, bringing in new skills. That is how the reality connects with the vision. With the vision. Okay, so that is the second one. Why are leaders not walking the talk and they want us to be trusted? Now, guys, any one of us who want to be leaders, we need to understand that trust is the foundation of leadership. You cannot consistently breach the trust of people and expect them to follow you. It doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, our political leaders sometimes take us for granted. Sometimes they're just thinking of their own interest, and then they are just looking into their stomach and their pockets. That is the reality. Our leaders are not serving us. The reason why this is continuing is because they are not serving us. They are serving themselves. They don't understand that their role as leaders is to help us, to add value to us. They see themselves as coming to office and enjoying themselves. And this is not just from our political leaders. I mean, there are corporate leaders, and when they talked about organizational change, they're just securing their salaries and their benefits and their perks. And the small staff people, they don't care about them. This thing starts even from the home. There are some fathers who are taking care of their own. They are spending the money on other things, and they are not taking care of the children in the home. That is not leadership. Okay, so that, in my view, is the problem, the misunderstanding of what leadership is. What leaders are supposed to do is what makes leaders not walk the talk, because they believe that they can deceive us, they can make us promises they don't intend to fulfill, and then they can get so many of us to just say yeah, 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 and follow them. That is what is going on. But true leadership is not like that. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you. So, if true leadership is not like that, what would you say is true followership? As followers, what should we do to ensure that our leaders are the leaders that we require? It's also beholden on us to help shape, as Obama says, to shape what we want. How do we do that?
Now, there are different levels of followership when it is the home, an organizational level, at the national level. Look, leadership is not just about the position. Leadership is a whole system and mentality. It's a mindset. It's a mindset that says that it is my responsibility to make the difference that I want to see. So we as the people, we as the followers have a responsibility in every small way where we are to make the difference that we want to see. Our environment that is so dirty and we're throwing things about here and there. Our own attitude to work, where you are in the organization and you're not doing your job. You're just coming and cozying around. The task that you can do in 5 minutes, you're not doing it. And for a month, you don't do anything. All you want is your salary. That is not right. So to be a great leader, you have to learn to follow. Okay, you cannot be a great leader if you don't learn followership. You have to learn to discipline yourself, follow yourself, because if you can't follow yourself, nobody will follow you. And you have to be able to learn to do what is right. You have to build your own integrity as a person. And that way, when you begin to even talk to the leaders, you know that you are on solid ground. And if it's on the national level, then you want to be able to communicate because you know that you've done what you were supposed to do. Because a lot of the people who are shouting that, their salaries are not enough, most of the time, they're not doing anything a lot. But of course, a lot of them are doing so much hard work, but the political leadership is just Article 71. They just take care of themselves and they're not taking care of the others. So there is a genuine, honest case. But a lot of people are also not working. They're not contributing much. That's why productivity is low. So we have to work.
Okay, thank you, Sam, for that. And I have another question from Emmanuel, who says, what would it take to develop a national vision? And whose responsibility is it to get a national long-term plan for our country?
Well, here I strongly believe in my one-man principle. Okay? A national vision will involve all of us. But guys, we need one man. We need somebody. We need a leader. We need an Nkrumah. We need a Nelson Mandela. We need, that one man. We need Martin Luther King. We need that one man at the top because the fish rots from the top. The way our national politics is, it will take a leader at the top. Go to Rwanda. Why is after 20 years of genocide, Rwanda has become, the model? Because there's one man who is driving the policy and who is implemented and who is legitimate, who people trust. So we need one man who people trust, who can then mobilize all of us. Because there's so many great ideas in this country. There are people who are qualified. In Africa, I mean, we just had a Made in Africa Leadership Conference in Lusaka last month in June. And we see the presentation, the quality of leadership, so many great things in Malawi. You know, the things that are going on, the quality of leaders and judges are able to stand firm and change, stop the election that is being rigged and get a new election. That is happening. A lot of good things are happening in small pockets, but we need the top leadership. One man who is stamping out the corruption, who is saying, no, everybody knows me, I'm not corrupt. You're corrupt, you are out. Send the right signal from the top, and then we can all rally around and build a national vision and build a consensus. But the vision must come from the top, the leadership at the top.
Okay, and the second question says, whose responsibility is it to get a national long-term plan for
That's what I'm saying. The first responsibility is the one man, one leader. In our system, we need to have a president who is ready to change, who is ready not to play the politics, but the constitution is there, is crafted that we need a national policy, but nobody cares because everybody is doing his own thing for political reasons. So until we get that person, then once we have that leadership in the presidency, then all of us must come around, make our contribution into that vision, into that development of the vision, and then we can then all support it to work. Because if we all don't buy into it, it won't work.
Excellent. So everything rises and falls on leadership. That's
Absolutely.
How I'll sum it up.
Absolutely.
Okay, this has been great. Let me look if there are any more questions or comments. Sengo says, Senor, I think it's Senor, says, thank you very much, my big brother. I strongly encourage you, Brother Senor. Okay, thank you. I don't see any questions. If there are some that I haven't seen, Abigail, could you point that out to me? Right, there are no more questions, Sam. So,
all right.
Yeah, so let's see. If you want to give us your closing remarks or things that maybe because of time you did not have time to share with us, you have the floor again to do so.
Well, Sarah, I guess we had a good time. We had great comments, and all I want to say is that for all of us, we are all leaders in our different respects. Brighten the corner where you are. Whatever the vision, whether it is small, whether it's medium size, whether it is big, let us all begin to envision a better Ghana, a better organization, a better job environment, a better relationship. All of us can do that. Let's move from the current reality situation and become agents of change, agents of vision. If we can all envision a better future and we can all put our hands to it, I believe that over the short period of time, we can have a better country, we can have a better organization, we can have a better Africa, because all of us are committed to making the difference that we want to see. And that would be my encouragement to every one of us. Credibility is important. We cannot call on our leaders to do the right thing when we are not doing the right things.
Excellent. Thank you. So we have to walk the walk, even if our leaders are not. And therefore, when they see us walking that way, it will even compel them to fall in line. We can be ourselves. Okay, great. So Sam, it's been great listening to you. And before we sign off, I just want to reiterate that you put on your calendars the 7th of October. Just reserve that date, save the date, and as Sam said, we have an early bird option for anyone who wants to join the Leadership Day. Send in your payment to CTL Africa until the end of August for the early bird. And also, Sam did mention about the DISC assessment for 500 CDs. Send it to CTL Africa. They'll be waiting for you to receive your orders and your interest. And last but not the least, the growth journey is still on course. Even if you're late, you'll be able to catch up. CT Africa is here to serve and to add value to you. So thank you for spending, let's say, 1 hour, 50 minutes of your Saturday evening with us, or afternoon or morning, wherever you are. It's been a pleasure having you in our space. And we say thank you until next Saturday, when we bring you another leadership lesson. It has been great having you. So thank you and good night.
Navigating through life without a coach or a guide can be very deceiving, making you come to think that you have achieved the highest or the best you can ever, or you have made the best of decisions. But until you become very intentional and take a good stock of your life, you would not realize that it's a mistake.
Pain helps you to come out of your comfort zone.
The law of intentionality and the fact that learning is a lifelong journey if you want to be significant. Emphasis on significance.
Previously, I used to be very unintentional about the things I do when it comes to my family, my work, my Christian life, and basically everything that I do.
In the pursuit of that growth, there are gaps. There are gaps that we need to conquer. These gaps include the knowledge, perfection, mistake, inspirational, timing, and assumption gap.
And I will encourage you to be part of CTL Africa's 15-week growth journey.
I encourage you all out there who need to live their life to be part of CTL Africa's growth journey.
Please take advantage of this program and your life will never be the same.
Thank you very much, CTL Africa, and continue to impact the world. God bless.